My AI just changed. It just buzzed the front gate. Thank God you came. How many more days could I wait? I made plans with you, and I won't let them fall through. I think I lie for you.
Good morning. Hi, guys. Welcome back. I don't even know where my welcome back sign at. All right, so this is the new. I hope you guys enjoy your Monday. Welcome to Monday. So we're going to talk about the new season of Love and Marriage Huntsville, and basically it gave a little. It was giving a little. I'ma have Tisha Mama come back because I know that while Mel is going, I'm not sure if they can hold the fort. And that's what I felt like it was given with Carlos. And then, you got Martell. I don't know why Martell is still trying to get Ariane onto the show when basically he already said, regardless if, this is what Carlos Key said, he said, regardless if Mel there or not, I would never put her on that show. And he meant that. And he's still trying to work her in the show, child. He giving her a little cameo that that's his woman now, honey. I wonder how long this storyline gonna last till he gets somebody, huh? All right, let's get into it. So it opens up, right, that it's a conversation. And, they're sitting there. We're getting a little preview of, of the mom of what happened with Martell and all of them talking about Marso cheating. And then we see Tisha Mama talking about, well, you're not going to hurt her. You're not going to hurt her. Not again, the way you talk, the way you deal with her, we're not going to hurt her. So I'm like, is Tisha Mama back? Honey, Tisha Mama got out that car. She was back, honey. Tisha Mama is back. Tisha got out that car, came to the house. I'm not sure if they was like at a vacation home or whatnot, but she got out the car, she sat here, whatever, and she's having a conversation, and she looked it great. She looked it like she took some time off. She had a great time to rehabilitate and stuff. So she drives up, honey, and she gets out the car. We see her here. She hugs, the grandkids. And Marcel said that he see his mother-in-law coming in, and God gave him another uphill battle. Meaning, Tisha Mama here, we just ready for the trash talk. We ready for all of that. So as soon as they were trying to have a conversation about Martell and Ariane interviewing the girl, Tisha is interrupting it. Now, a lot of people are like, well, Tisha is in here acting like she don't know again what's going on. First of all, let me say this. Tisha is doing what a wife does. And I know a lot of y'all get upset, but this is where you don't have your family. This is, okay, when you're in a marriage, that's what it is, a marriage. It does not include your mama unless you need counseling, or your daddy unless you need counseling or something is going on. It does not include everybody. This is a marriage between Tisha and Marcel, and I wish people understand, regardless of what infidelity is going on, that is their marriage. Are we annoyed? Yes. Are we in the marriage? Absolutely. Are we sitting here telling Tisha, girl, stand up? Absolutely. But I really do feel like that girl coming there to talk to Martell and Ariane was like a fluke. And I talked about that when they did the interview. So, she's trying to get answers about her baby. And Marcel was like, he's not responding to that because at this point, for what? Like, what am I responding to when this is a typical Martell moment? Why would I respond to that? And I agree to it. But, Tisha Mama think he lied, child. She say she gonna find around and dig till there's no more room to deep. She asked him. She said it ain't no more room to dig. She gonna keep digging. He asked, you know know the lady, and then Tisha stepped in and say, "We not doing that." And she say, "You gotta realize by him not saying anything that is showing that he's guilty." And I see how people can say that, but Tisha stepped in and was like, "We not doing that." And she say it don't make it right towards her and her family and his wife that. And the family, including the wife, that is just not that. And then, teacher was like, listen, we got our own ways of letting each other know, like, I got your back, you got mine. And I feel like with Tisha, she didn't want basically to, if it is true or not, that's to her, that's between her and her husband. Not her mama, not her cousin, not her auntie, not her sister, her brother. It's between her and Marcel. That's their marriage. So, child, that came on a point. And then we go into Kimmy and Maurice sitting down talking to Maurice Jr. Munster, who is going to go to college. They're having a conversation. He's putting in applications. He's looking at some places. I'm like, dang, this show been on that long. Like, we watched him really kind of grow up, like, God dang. I'm shocked. College already, but they grow. So as they having a conversation, Maurice decided to tell his son about what he got arrested for, and they were basically saying, you have to make choices to be okay. You have to make the right choices. If you go out and have fun, you need to be well aware of your surroundings. If you cannot drive, do not drive. Like, you're an adult now. This is what's going to happen, right? That he needs to be more self-aware. So he decides to tell him about the intoxication charge and DUI, and he asked his son, did he know? He was like, yeah, my friends told me about it. They had a conversation about it. And Maurice asked that he crack jokes because it was dismissed. He said no. And he said, that's what tend to happen. I'm gonna put it to you like this. Maurice is a damn lawyer. We're not gonna act like he wasn't gonna get that dismissed. We're not gonna act like the judge ain't say, listen, you are a lawyer, you need to act as such. So if you're gonna have a night of fun, sir, I need you to catch an Uber. He didn't get a technically slap on the wrist, but trust me, him being in that courtroom with that judge and that judge talking, he laid it into him. Y'all don't, please don't act like he didn't. He laid it into him, honey. He laid it into him. Oh God, I'm watching the old Real Housewives of Atlanta season 4 sidebar. Why Kim got all them damn wigs? Anyway, I don't understand that. But he laid it into him. But he was telling him that's what tend to happen when you do those things. And they had a conversation about it. And now it's just Kimmy and Maurice having a conversation. She tell him about Chris, which is Nell husband, about the side chick situation. In the comments he made about the side chick conversation. Um, you know, and how he was talking about something with NDAs and all this and that. And he was having a conversation and spoke about having Maurice sign EDAs about his side chicks. I think I remember that. I think somebody did mention that. I don't know if they mentioned that on the show or something like that, but I mean, it is that. Then we get a sit down with Destiny and Martell. So Destiny asked him what he's been up to, and he was like, the kids, Ariane, and she was like, So he was like, he trying to get the kids to merge and stuff, getting her back into school. Because remember, she had a business. I don't know what happened to that business, but he was trying to get her back in school, and he want to invest in his woman. She say, "So you invested in your woman?" And he was like, "Yeah, I better." This shit. I mean, this mess with him and Ariane. I'm gonna tell y'all what it's giving me in a minute. I said what it's giving. I just feel like, here's the thing. He's invested in her, but he's invested in her not to pay child support. We're not going to act stupid. Like, let's go to Martell page for a second. Because Arion has posted him and oh my man. But when we go on here on his page, it's not about him. Even when he, and it's no shade, I know they're not together no more. When he was with Mel, he posted Mel. There is no pictures, and the kids. There is no pictures of Arion anywhere in this man thing. Nowhere. He posted his wine. He used to post his ex-wife, and now it's the kids because I guess it's scrubbed. But at that one point, y'all remember he used to post his ex-wife. There is no pictures of Arion, but you go to Arion page, and I feel like to her, I guess whatever makes her happy and float her boat, that she's chosen. And it's getting, and I just want Arion to stand up. You got all this tea about everybody, baby, stand up. She posts her child, and look, her man, and all this and that. Regardless how you got here, you two make a beautiful couple. Yeah, they do. But why it took him so long to showcase love? She has a daughter. She don't even post like that. Every now and then, we don't have too much discussion on the daughter. It is mostly on the son because it's Martell. Like it's Ariana ain't ugly. She's still wearing the same bob. I'm a bun. I want to see a nice silk press with some loose curls or a roller set and a side part. I want to see it up on top, down on the bottom. I want to see a nice, have some pieces hanging out, updo. I want to see something other than this damn bun. I want to see something. I want the curls with the something. Give me something, baby. You look cute with your head. I don't know why every time. I don't know if he like it, she like it. I don't know. She trying to pull up the updo classy, woman sense, thing, whatever, or kept woman, but she like it. So they would say anyway. She asked him, was it getting heavy, and he says it's getting more serious to where he wants to put. He playing her cards right. She get the ring. And he said he did met Ariane when they were married, and he did this, at one point. Now remind y'all, she has been, I think if I'm not mistaken, allegedly, she's been a Gina, um, no matter who he was with, long time or anything. So she came in somewhere, and she's still gonna stay. That's what she gives. And so, as they sit and have a conversation, he did cheat. He did come out with everything and say they had their ups and downs over the years, a lot of years. He sat here and called her a peasant, and she's still there. He just claimed she would go on there and go crazy because he was with his ex-wife at the time still there. He called her a great girl. She's very smart, a great parent, but he didn't say all this a long time ago. I guess it took years um to see her worth. And Destiny said, I guess to say is to see you a one woman man. And he was like, for certain. And then he asked her, did she talk to Lance, which is Miss Nell's son, and she say no because she find out that he had a child and didn't tell her, and they haven't spoken, and he posted during the holidays, and then he texted her, and he was really like, she's really trying to say he was nervous and trying to clean it up, be like, what's up, da da da. And she felt like it was weird, which I feel like Destiny just need to be by herself. I feel like Destiny is trying to move on after the divorce, through the divorce and all of that, talking to somebody. Did she let the world know she talking to somebody? I just feel like she just need to by herself and give, what I'm saying, herself some time to just be alone for a minute, because she was like, she was getting backlash online. People was giving it to her. Destiny, I need you to be alone. Just for a bit, I need you to have fun. I don't need you to keep bringing around and say, oh, I'm with this person, that person for the show. I want to see you have at least a couple of hot girl summers filming. I want to at least see like a couple of them. We don't want the whole thing. That's your choice. But I want to see one summer you having fun, taking trips, being you, honey, living luxury, focus on you. And in the next one, if you want to have a fling or two, that's your business. And everybody ain't got to know you just having fun. That's what I want to see. You are a tourist. You don't have to share all your great food places with everybody. Okay? You don't. Everybody don't deserve you, mama. Like, mm-mm, not at all. And then, she had a discussion to him about the Scott's video with Ariane on the interview. This is their way trying to work Ariane in. And I don't think it's gonna work with Carlos. I really don't. I don't think so. Carlos said, listen, um, baby, either or, I just can't do it. I don't know what it is. I don't know. He's a Libra. It's a loyalty, and I understand because I'm one too. But Martell was just like, the Scots has been saying stuff, and I'm being attacked, and I've been attacked on the internet for a while, just like Destiny says she has too. And I've been dealing. He's really been attacked because of the divorce situation. And my thing is, everybody's going to do that. Ariane has been attacked. But for you to sit here and pull the Scots in and do all that, okay, you could have came out with your receipts, let them come out with your receipts. But everybody know why Destiny got attacked, because everybody felt like Destiny in the online Reddit was Destiny wasn't a great friend. I don't know what happened. But can we be clear? And I love Mel and I love all the ladies. When Mel went through what she went through, she checked out on a friendship. It wasn't because of anything, because she checked out was the fact was, you gotta understand. And I know Destiny understand, but you gotta understand, you got a woman that's taunting you, stalking you online, telling all your business about your husband. Y'all just got to a good place, get ready to have a baby. Now y'all gotta get divorced. And she's still talking about you with her high top bun until she get the man. Then when he got with her, she was quiet. And watch, when he got with Sheree, she tried to dog slap Sheree. And we told her, Sheree got reads for days. Sheree's will read you for filth. Baby, leave her alone. You're not ready for that. And so she tried to go back to Mel, tried to mess with Mel, trying to mess up what they had going on, trying to make things seem this and that. And Mel was like, none of that. Then he took his time, and again, I guess he felt like nobody was going to want him with all the stuff he has done. So, yeah, that's what it seemed like. Because remember, Kenya ran him for filth. Child, he done cussed her out real bad. And, child, they read each other, to be honest. But, I feel like Martell doing that interview with her, you wasted 3 hours, 3 hours of part one and two of our time. It wasn't even that she gave us nothing, She didn't give us nothing but I get paid for service. That's what the girl had gave. And I know you was trying to make it fair. And then what messed up the interview was you had her, was that you, Martell? Was Martell doing anything? Girl, if you feel like that, what's the point of being there with him? You might as well keep him as a fling. Child, So, now he's saying he rebuilding a lot. He's come, Destiny was like, he rebuilding a lot, coming back. And she was like, don't let them take you backwards. You built out of this situation. And she was saying, he showed up as a brother to her. And that's why her loyalty was with Martell, because I think she knew Martell first and it became brotherly. So her loyalty was always going to be, now we're getting the truth, with Martell, because he was like a brother to her. He gives her brotherly love. And I'm just like, girl, you should have gave us that when me and when everybody was asking and with Mel why. So then we go on to what's this big man name in Marquise? Marquez and Ken. So they having a conversation, I think, at a gym, and they go with a flashback of him And Marquez sitting at dinner with Trish and said, and I'm glad it's not with Trish. He was like, me and Trish was not together. We didn't get together when y'all were together, but they were still married at some point. So technically, Ken, y'all, they kind of was still together. They just was separated. I mean, they still was married on paper because it took her forever to get the marriage dissolved. And so how the conversation had it, and how they had an argument about the children and him not being present of the children, and that way of him not having a relationship with the kids. And they went on a reunion, they had a conversation, and Ken was like, he trying to have his back for him to be a better father. And Marquez is like, you need to start playing like you got my kids, you had my kids belong to you. It's the fight over the kids, to where you know it had to be some things said at the reunion. So I guess they took a break, and they decided, Ken say, you know what, me and Marquez got to have a conversation. We got to make this work for the kids. Me, he might not like me, I might not like him, but the kids getting older, which I agree. And the children, they need to see a power dynamic, meaning togetherness. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the situation, right? So Marquez said, was like, he felt some type of way, and then when he reached out, he was like, you know what? I got to come and have a conversation with him, talk to him, and if my kids more important, which they are, that I gotta show it. And he moved from Atlanta back to Huntsville to have a just to get close to the kids. And then Ken was like, if we beat each other up, then what we gonna get out of that is gonna affect the kids. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, production set this up in a way they're sitting here talking. It's like, I really don't like you, but I mean, it is what it is. I can learn to just be cordial with you and assist you with the kids, as Ken was saying, and make sure everything go good, because we are a household now. And this is what's going on with the kids. This is what it is. Turning the pages, we good. Marquise agreed, right, we're gonna turn the pages and have a conversation and be whatever. Ken was like, listen, you're not gonna be involved with me and Trish got going on, and then you want to take the kid. First of all, he if he want to take the kids to get their passports and go places, he can do that. But like Marquise was like, they never had anything, a conversation. And Ken was saying, like, he don't trust her because she's not responsible to be around the kids and do what he's supposed to do with the kids and handle things, and he don't have great intentions. She feels like he don't have pure intentions. Now, I understand, but Trish, let me tell you something. She wouldn't have these feelings if she would have went through with the divorce the first time. And that's just being honest. Because now you're going through the divorce feelings, because now even though y'all were separated, you moved on. Now you're going through that, like, that whole beat down, gut situation that Destiny was telling her when she finally signed them papers. And she thought, oh no, I don't have that. It's officially over. No, that's what Destiny was telling you. Those feelings. I don't trust him. I don't care. I want to smack him in the eye and did it, like those feelings. She just not having those feelings. See, while he was gone, separated, was outside, out of mind, she didn't care. But now that it was going through the deep part of it, the grieving part of, now you think about what happened, you're burying that, it's all a letting go, completely processed. She just not feeling them things about him. She should have just been signed the papers. Sign them papers. You know what I'm saying? So he was saying all the years he don't know her, and the issues and then Marquez is saying the issues he have with Trish is separate for him and Ken, but he want to set up a play date with the kids where they have a conversation, and they talk, and then once everything come to where it is, they all take a trip together. They all can co-parent, and I agree with that. Let me tell you something. I think Trisha has a daughter, and she got a son, right? I'm not sure. I think it's two daughters, two sons, something like that. Them kids gonna get married at one point in their life and have their own family. you're going to have to be present, especially being there at an event. Y'all can't show up to a baby shower or a wedding fighting each other. At least put bygones be bygones. We don't want it to be another Tamar in the mama and daddy situation. No shade shot Miss Evelyn Brest. I love her and I love Tony. I love all of them. But we don't want to be another one of those trifectas. You know what I'm saying? We saw that and that was a mess. Oh, that was a mess. Trina's wedding, her second or third wedding, that was a mess. Trina had a headache. Trina was trying to figure out. She was like, "Listen, I want everybody there. I'm in a great place in my life. This is a man I want to marry. This is a man I want to be with. He's my protector. He's my supporter. Yes, this and that. We love each other. Da, da, da." She finally found the happiness, and when she finally had it, it was a problem, honey. Baby, she was like, "I want to invite his wife." They say now, well, we need to have a sit down. Well, I don't know. It was a mess. We don't know. Hell, no. No, 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 no. So I feel like they do need to come to some kind of agreements with each other. They do need to come to the point where they can all be cordial and be around each other, because these children are growing up and they're going to have milestones in their lives, graduations, graduation from college, weddings, bridal showers, weddings, baby showers, things of that. Who gonna watch the grandkids? If I bring the grandkids over, will it be okay with such and such? You got to get to that place. Will it take a while? Absolutely, but they gotta let them get to that place. I feel like they finally get to a place, and I'm glad they is, because I wanted the storyline of everybody hating each other to be over. We had enough of that. So then we go to Nell and Chris' house. Martell show up. It seemed like those are only friends that Martell have on the show is Nell and Chris. And don't that sound like a little reminder? And then, as he walked in, the dog is barking. And then, Miss Nell said, "We didn't like what he did. Did we, Bookie?" No, we didn't. Because remember, Miss Nell had went off about being around the baby mama. And I understand why. Because here's the thing. A lot of people didn't want to be around Ariane because Ariane go to the blogs, she get mad, she talk, she do a lot. He pillow talk to her, and then it goes from there. So yeah, a lot of people didn't want to. They kind of like brush her off. I get it. So child, he come in, they talk about the polo situation, and he say, he prepared to sit down and have a conversation about the polo. I think it wasn't polo. I think it was at the Kentucky Derby last year. They filmed this last year, so this was at the Kentucky Derby. Oh my God, it is in Alabama. The last one they had, which was last year, they haven't had a new one yet. I don't think. No, or is it this one this year? It's one of them, but it was at the Kentucky Derby, in Alabama. Y'all know they had this every year. Everybody dressed up nice, all the black elites, and they was having a conversation. And Miss Nell was looking upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, ugh. And they call it a Polo Classic before it get to that. And then she said they ran into Martell and his girlfriend. There was a picture taken. It was a PR event. The picture wasn't supposed to come out that she met the girlfriend at conversation. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, she wanted to keep it with Melody." She said, "No, I was just greeting her." Now, Miss Nell, I would have been. You should take a page out of Real Housewives of Atlanta fan book. You could have been like, "Oh yeah, I took a picture with the girlfriend, the fan." We could have been a great ease of shade. We would have been like, "Okay, girl, throw some shit." You gotta take. Listen, call Nene, call Phaedra. I know this season you want him to be ready to go toe to toe, but I'm gonna need you to have a shade in Marlo in Portia. Well, Portia and Marlo can't be in the same room right now, but you gotta have a sit down shade read with them, and learn how to read. And I feel like if you read and give a little shade, everybody be like, "Oh, what, what, That's what you need to give Miss Nail. Miss Nail, you've now been a vet on the show. Talk to Carlos. I need some shade and some reads from you next season. Even if this season, if you're still film, but next season, I want some good shades and some good reads because they're gonna come at you. I need you to have some good shades and some good reads, okay? But she's saying that it blew up on social media where she got, the backlash from it. And from what she understood, Martell was the mastermind of releasing a photo and make it blow up to make someone mad. And she was like, you had my blood pressure up, I'm on live, and she all natural, she upset. And she had her braids out, honey, her real hair. And she went off and said she would never entertain her. And Martell know that, and knowing that it was that he set her up, and it was just a hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. It was never a girl, let's hang out, let's go to brunch. It was a hey girl, how you doing? And she don't know her. She never met her. Nobody never really met her until the Polo Classic, aka Kentucky Derby, that was going on. So she, she didn't think nothing of it. It was just to have a hey, how you doing conversation. And he was saying the details about his head was turned, phone blowing up, people going off. Um, Chris, you know, letting her know people was saying things. They were saying a lot of things. The internet was in a rage. The internet was in a rage. The internet called her a flip flopper, backstabber. You with her? How dare you? It was in a rage. Oh, honey, I knew she was messy. Oh, girl. I said, well, we don't know the context. I said, okay. It looked like it's just a hey, how you doing? To me, I it didn't look like, girl, let's go to brunch and have some drinks and I'm outside. I want to get to know you. It wasn't that. It was just like, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Okay, next, great. It wasn't a, well, how Martell treating you? Well, is everything? It was, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. That was it. That's what I got from it. I didn't get a let's go shopping. I want to meet the kids. I want to see the kids. Bring them over sometime. It wasn't given that. It was given a hey, how you doing? It's okay to say hi, how you doing. First of all, y'all got to understand this is the down south. I don't know what the mentality been for a while. This is the down south where we speak, hey, how you doing? And we throw a great southern shade over a nice cup of tea or fried chicken or whatever the case may be. It's just who we are. Um, please don't, just because this is Love and Marriage Huntsville, don't, and we see difference with Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Bell Collective, they're all in the South. Please don't forget that these ladies would throw shade and be classy, very Southern. And please don't forget that they won't be cordial and still don't like your guts. This is the South, baby. This is what it is. Okay? Yes, it's dirty South, but at the same time, we we would be like, hey, how you doing? I know that whole shoe's cheap. I don't even like the bitch. Like, that's just what it is. That's just how it is. And we can be honest about it, and that's just what it is. Welcome to the South. Okay. So, he said he would never post no pictures like that. He didn't have anything to do with that. She said she glad, and they had a conversation. She's basically saying, she don't know she can believe him with that because she not sure because she know the games that Martell play. So then, Chris asked, did she speak to Tisha? Martell, did he speak to Tisha? And she was on there with Carlos King and bashing, and then you had Miss Nell say, "Oh, so you did a long clap back." So now they talk about the live special with the supposed to be allegedly, we don't know, side chick. We don't know. But then the Fletchers agreed that they could see where he coming from because there are some things. And put it to you like this: you got the Scotts, Kimmy, Maurice, um, Tisha, Marcel versus the Fletchers and Martell, and then you have Destiny in the middle. Which this season, I think we're going to see Destiny be in the middle of a lot because you understand, Tisha is more cool and friends with, you know, Destiny is more and Tisha friends. And then you have Miss Nell, she kind of like, I ain't got no problem with her, but it is what it is. She said what she said. Uh, I'm just, it's kind of like bygones be bygones a little bit from what I'm starting to see. The first episode, it might change. And, Chris asked did she speak to, uh, Destiny about it or whatever to Miss Nail, and she was like, you know what, have you had a conversation? But if y'all remember at the reunion, Miss Nail told Destiny, I don't know if she the woman for him. And it wasn't shade. We thought it was shade, but now we starting to see why she said that, because she didn't know how to tell her about that baby. She didn't know. She was like, I don't know who she is. I don't know. Meaning, I don't know if Destiny gonna stick around. Destiny been through a lot, and I know how my son is. I don't know. Cause she remember she was beating around the bush. She was like, put it like this. I think Miss Neil was like, baby, I don't know. I mean, she was saving her, ladies. If the mama trying to save you in any way, that means she sees something in you, she like you. If the mama push her son off on you, she trying to get rid of him and she don't like you. She just like anybody can come get him. For Miss Nell to say, I can't push her off on him for anybody to come get him because I know my son, I respected it. Because if she really didn't like her, girl, he the best thing in the world. Marriage. Ooh, yay, I see it. She didn't push him off that way. She just was like, Destiny is a good girl. She's been through a lot. I know as a woman, I don't want that for her. I'm not going to out my son because that is my son. She did right. But Miss Nell didn't know. Y'all were mad at Miss Nell at that reunion. Miss Nell ain't know how to tell that darn girl that he had a baby. So then we go into Tisha and Ken having a conversation about Marquez. They're going to go meet Marquez. They're sitting in the car talking about, things about finances and making sure things, they go to the gym, they work out, they stay in the gym a lot, but they're coming up with a business plan of how much they want to spend on the gym, the finances of price, just pricing of equipment, things like that, how to get this and that going, and just to open their own gym because they're always, as we see, they're always in the gym. And first of all, shout out to Trish, I keep calling her Tisha, Trish, at the concert, she looked cute. Her and Tisha and all the ladies show. They come on now, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Married to Medicine. I just want to say y'all did that. I'm proud. It's a fan. I'm proud. So, he was like telling her he want her to be more confident in him about, things that she worry about, and just to let her know to feel confident. Ken, I'm gonna say something. You gotta understand. I know you sending her reassurance, but you need to give her action behind that reassurance. We know you have your back. We see her have her back. Sorry, we see that, but you gotta understand she's in her thing with Marquez because Marquez did not have her back. So you need to have her show reassurance of having her back. That's it. Make her feel that, right? That's all she asking. So he said he had a conversation with Marquez, and she asked how did that go? And they said that he said they in a better place with a conversation. And Trish is like, yeah, okay, child. I just can't. Trish has a womanly intuition. I'm not gonna say what happened. We'll talk about it. But it's some things that happen behind the scene. Trish is like, um, I understand, but something's not right because he spoke negative about me to you and trying to pull that wedge. She say something is not right with this. I can't take that genuinely, and I can't accept that. So he like, listen, they're in a good space. It's better than before. And she say, for some reason, I feel like it's a motive, it's something. I cannot trust that with you saying you want to be in the kid's life and they haven't seen it. I'm not sure if I could just sit here and say I can accept that. You know what I'm saying? In that way. So he was like, it sound weird. But in a way, he has to understand. Trish was like, since he bad, she cool that he around, he good to get the kids, but being around him and being cool, they ain't there yet because she feels like it's something going on. And Kim was like, it's something there that need to be hashed out. And I agree. We're gonna see that later on in the season. It wouldn't be Love and Marriage Huntsville without a scoffer. And it wouldn't be Love and Marriage Huntsville without a scoffer. A took a took. You know what I'm saying? So Trish's friend Sharon came to have a conversation with her, and Trish was like, she trying to figure out, it's just life and work. She's trying to figure out things between her and Ken, and and then things a friendship with Marquez as well. And her friend was like, a friendship, and started laughing. She's trying to learn to coexist with everything because of the kids. And her friend was like, he just trying to figure out a way to irritate her and get on her nerves. Well, I mean, but but she was like saying Sharon knows everything, like everything. And she won't sugarcoat anything and she know everything. So then Marquez come to the house. Child, and he hears the conversation of Marquez trying to build more of a relationship with Ken than having any coexistence, right? So she asked her, was the divorce final? She said, yeah. So Marquez walked in as they having a conversation, right? I'm just trying to figure out when he got a key to the house, when he felt comfortable walking in her house. He casually walks in his woman's house. He feel comfortable. So I have questions. And this is just me. How long has this been going on with the comfortability, and how long did y'all give him a notice to feel comfortable to walk in the house? And I hate to ask that question because we seen how Drew and Ralph played in our face and how she'd be like, oh, you're not supposed to be here. Come to find out, Ralph be coming up and down the stairs when he feel like it. So, and feeding her steak. Now, I want to know, are y'all cool for him to walk in? Y'all straight? Like, what's up? We don't have a little, ooh, on Real Housewives. We're gonna talk about Real Housewives tomorrow reunion because I'm waiting on more receipts so we could talk about it. But are y'all cool? So Sharon say she's sharing, and she was like her friend. She was like, "Hey Marquez, I got a question. I'm sharing." And then he was like, "Well, you her friend." He was like, "She said you came in like you want to attack. What's up?" He said, "I asked her to came." He said he's actually came in to drop my daughter off, but what's up? Like, what's going on? That's how I just want to jump her out. Or whatever, and they want to talk about something. They want to talk about the situation. So Sharon was like, she want to talk about it. He said, so you're a friend to her? She said, yeah. He asked her, how long has she known it? She said she known him about 4 years, to be exact. And so he was like, so you met her? He was like, well, how did I meet you? And she said, you have never met me. And she said, why is that a problem? We just met. So he was like, asking, and she said he came in and asked the question. So he going back and forth. And so he basically saying that don't bring her into the situation because she really don't know what's going on. But the way that the friend was talking, like the way Trish was saying, oh, I've known her, she's known her through the whole thing. So I'm kind of like, if she been through the whole thing, but she's saying she your friend for 4 years, that don't add up. So now a lot of people are starting to feel like she trying to antagonize him because she don't like him. She don't like him. If we're gonna keep it real, she don't like Marquez. She don't like him. So he basically was saying that they were having a conversation. He said, if she met you 4 years ago, she don't know me. She don't really know the situation. She only know what basically you told her. She don't know what really happened. She don't know what I got to say. She don't know nothing. So they're having a conversation. Her friend Sharon is swaying. When a black woman get to swaying, baby, it's finna be a problem. So now they're having a conversation. The oldest son and Xavier walk in, hear the conversation. He throwing his plate away, and they have a conversation. He was saying about dropping the daughter off in dance competition, and then he asked his son. His son came in like, "Let's go eat. Like, let's go have some food." And he told Sharon, "You got any questions about me? We can sit down and talk." Now Sharon was like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to do that." Xavier like, "Listen, Dad, let me go get myself and go eat." Just he basically saying, "Can you go wait in the car?" He was like, "Go outside to the car. We're finna go eat. Go outside to the car." Now for Xavier to not, and it's no shade, to take his mama side, something going on. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know if y'all paid attention to that, but it's something that she's not talking about, because he ain't even jumping. He was like, "Dad, don't talk to my mama like that." None of that. He basically saying, "Dad, just go outside. Just go outside. I'm coming outside. We going to go eat. Just go outside." And then as he walk out the door, Trish is basically talking and still talking and everything. And Sharon is looking upset. So we go on. We go into a clip of this whole entire season. You know, Destiny and Miss Nell and her son was talking about Destiny. Destiny talked to somebody, I guess Martell, and now she's flirting with the godson Twan. And she said somebody pique her interest, she gonna talk to him. So now she's talking to the godson. Did she have a conversation with Miss Nell's son about the baby, and say he met with Destiny, and it's Twan and Miss Nell, and then she flat out asks him, "Well, did you ever?" And I don't know if he said yeah or no, but we gonna see that. We see the sit down with Tisha and her mama. Child, Miss Wanda about Miss Nell, saying Miss Nell is upset with her, and Miss Wanda, as in Miss Wanda fashion, is ready to bump. It's her, Kimmy, and Destiny. And she said, or what? She said, well, her husband said something about husband. So they go to this little rodeo thing, and they talk about, and Miss Nell say she feel like it's something going on with the marriage that y'all don't want to talk about with y'all marriages or whatever like that. And so Kimmy say, you feel like our husbands is cheating and we don't want to talk about it. And then, Maurice and Martell about, baby, listen, it's a lot going on. Marquise and Ken get into an argument about the thump. Trish just sitting there as usual. Um, you got Maurice and Martell going at it. You got the Scotts having dinner about the situation. The reason why Marquez and Ken was about to fight, because he told them they're waiting on a court date to finalize the divorce. He's saying this, the paperwork is finalized. He say, no, I was told we're waiting on a court date to take it to court. And he told them that she put that they didn't have minor children. Now, remind you, I think it's two of the other kids left, because remember the oldest one graduated or whatever, and the other two are still minors, right? So he's showing the paper that that's not true, that ain't what happened or whatever. Sharon is there, and they got to get into an altercation, and he's picking Xavier, and Ken moving away, acting like you finna fight. And Nell and Destiny was talking, and she said that Tisha and Kimmy, or Tisha need to keep her name out of her mouth about her family. Said they had an issue, and I think, yeah, Kimmy keep her name out of her mouth, and she said she got a problem. And Kimmy tells Miss Nell to keep that, she'll dump her in that pool. So Miss Nell get up and like, wait a minute, you ain't gonna, typical love and marriage, Huntsville fashion of a fight. They about to bump. Yeah. So I don't know. This season look like it's very explosive. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. We're gonna go into Real Housewives of Atlanta tomorrow. And I got the tea and receipts. Portia decided to post some receipts. Um Portia decided to post some receipts. She basically, I'm gonna tell y'all now before we go into them tomorrow. I believe that Shamia and Portia friendship is in a life hanging balance, and I'm clicking my pen because this is a friendship that has grown, and it feels like to me, you have the ladies push this friendship to where it's at. I'm sorry, except for Angela. She wasn't trying to be too messy, but I believe Drew pushed that because she wanted to show. That's just me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, live. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I will see you guys tomorrow with the Real Housewives of Atlanta tea. We're going to do a recap of Reunion 2. I think we did a 1. And we're going to go ahead and jump into the receipts that match up with things were said. And then we're going to get into Drew in her PDF file receipt. Somebody say, well, this PDF file and it got to be true. Baby, that is not real. Drew come out with lies. Until Drew tell us the truth, I will believe her. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next live, y'all. Make sure you have your popcorn ready. Make sure, dang it, I'm hitting the wrong one. Anyway, another thing before I leave, I do want to do a Q&A with y'all. It might be Thursday. It might be this Thursday. I want to do a Q&A. So any questions y'all have for me when you watch this live, you can put them in the comment section. Please put your comments there. We're going to do a Q&A this Thursday. I will answer. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Roman numeral 7 days, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take it, things and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God.